something. 10 men, 20 men, 30 men. That do was something. 10 men, 20 men, 30 men. Yeah, drink 'em up.
You know what it is, man. DJ Thoro, a.k.a. Thorozano, Bridge to the Streets. Right now, you're watching the hottest in the streets right here on ThisIs50.com. We live from One World Studios. Shout out my man, Boy Wonder. You know how we do. I got a special guest in the building. He's talented. He's fly. He's a visionary. And he's going to talk to us about some fashion. Introduce yourself.
Man, what's going on, everybody, man? Thank you for that introduction.
You like the intro, man? I'm pretty, you know what I mean?
That was dope.
I was dope? Okay. I just came up with that. You know what I mean?
What's up, man?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all good. I'm Tamil Robinson.
Okay.
And, I'm basically come from that fashion industry.
Right.
I got a few decades in this.
You got a few decades.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely, man.
Judging,
so we gonna go by.
Judging by this literature, you definitely have a few decades, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But I like to start with, my guests, their humble beginnings and do stuff chronologically.
Of course.
All right. First and foremost, where are you from?
I'm from Newark, New Jersey. They call it the Bricks.
The Bricks.
That's right. New
The
Jersey,
Brick
USA.
City.
Taking it all the way back, man.
The Brick City.
Yeah.
Now, I switched gears a lot. So I recently had another fashion. I give all my people their respect,
of course.
With in terms of how I brand them. Willie Esco.
From Newark.
From Newark.
That's right.
Yeah.
We actually, I'm going to take that back because I know Willie and Willie knows me personally. We were going against each other breakdancing back in the day.
Yo,
he was with a group called The Force.
The Force, yo.
And I was with Rock Jazzy.
Right. Yo.
So, I did it all.
See, that's the alley-oop. I sort of knew that because he told me the story when he said that, so everybody, if you're real hip-hop like we are, remember the Fresh Fest?
The Fresh Fest,
The Fresh
of course.
Fest, right.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't know Jermaine Dupri
Was a little
kid
back in
dancing.
the day.
Right.
Breakdancing.
He used to dance for Houdini.
Houdini.
Right.
That's
so
right.
if you look at the video Freeze Come Out at Night,
Yep.
you see Jermaine Dupri with his little curl and he's pop locking.
Yeah.
To this day, Willie Esco is hurt over that because he's saying that Jermaine Dupri beat him out of that spot. That was supposed to be his spot because they had an audition at the Roxy.
Okay. Yep.
And for whatever reason, they didn't win.
Right.
But everybody said they did win.
Okay. But they were good.
So
They were. I gotta give Willie and them the props, even though we were another crew.
Right.
Then you still had the guys over in the Bronx that was killing the game too.
Right.
Rocksteady crew.
Rocksteady crew. Yeah, Crazy Legs. I had them all up here. Crazy Legs.
Wow.
Anybody that contributed and helped. That really invented. This. Helping the culture move forward.
Of course.
I had them up here. You know what I mean? So. Here's another fun fact, since we're talking hip-hop.
Oh, yeah. Let's bring it.
You ever heard of a basketball player called Shaq? Shaquille O'Neal?
Of course. From Newark.
Did you know that he's in the movie Beat Street?
Did not know that.
You remember the Roxy...
the scene.
The auditions?
Right.
Remember the two little kids?
The two
the
little
dynamic
kids.
duo?
Yeah.
The tall one, that's Shaq.
No way. I'm going to go watch it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I did not realize
that is Shaq.
I did not realize
that. That is Shaq. A lot of people don't know that.
But if Shaq battled me right now, he losing.
He losing? All right, we got to set that up.
Shaq battled me right now.
Right. Yeah.
I still got my windmills.
You still got your windmills?
Still got
All right, I still do a mean 1990.
You got a 1990. My brother got a crazy 1990.
Right.
That was he was known for.
Flares, all that. You know what I mean?
But here goes another fact. For those crews, because I came from Newark, New Jersey, I come from a performing arts school called Arts High School.
Arts High School, okay.
Yeah, right on High Street.
Okay.
Now it's Martin Luther King Boulevard,
Right.
But still High Street. I was the guy who was doing all of the graffiti. So I bring it all the way back.
Bring it all the way back.
Part of the culture for real.
Right, okay.
So I did all the sweatshirts, the sweatpants, the graffiti. I did all the uniforms and things like that. I think, Willie and them probably got their stuff like printed up or whatever it was.
Right.
They looked a little bit more uniform. My stuff was more like wild style, mechanical wild style, and I did everybody's character.
Right.
Whatever they were good at, I did.
You did
the image on this.
Right.
So Ski was better on the 1990, so I drew him doing the 1990. I had windmills. I had the windmills. I was on the windmills, and so forth and so on.
Right. Now,
like
did that carry over in that era? They were bombing on the trains. Did you?
I did a couple of things.
Okay.
But
you did a couple of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did a couple of things.
Right. Allegedly.
Yeah. Me and my boy Kaz. Shout out to Kaz because he would. Let's go hit a wall. Let's go do something like that. But what I did, I went to West Side Park, our neighborhood park,
Right.
and bombed Newark and Wild Style on the community center.
Okay.
They left it there.
Right.
They didn't know it was good, but when they redid it, you know, it's naturally
Right.
gone.
Now, how did you develop your love for art? Because when I started drawing, I used to mimic comic books. You know,
Same here.
Superman,
Same here.
Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk. That's how I learned how to draw. I would just literally start off tracing, and then I learned shades and contours and, you know, things like that.
Bro, like we so connected right now, vibing wise. No, I'm serious because every summer, I net like from the time I was whatever in grade school till maybe 17 years old, I got shipped down to North Carolina on the plantation every summer.
Wow.
Okay, that was my grandmother's.
Okay.
You know, that's still the family land down there.
Okay.
So that's why I went every summer. So I never really spent a summer in the city as a child. So it was there.
Right.
That's when I fell into the love of drawing, and it was comics because my cousin Tootie had gazillion comic books.
Right.
And he was just drawing them and everything like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna make up my own characters.
Right.
Everything else is here drawing. So I started, you know, using the anatomy from those comic books,
Right.
and creating my own different looks and different styles of drawing comics. So that's how I got into it, from comics.
From comics.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely. And it spawned from that.
Spawned from that. Now, did you have this idea that you wanted to be an artist or a fashion designer? How did you branch it to, or you go in that direction of fashion designer or not an actual artist?
It was actually football.
Okay, football.
I wanted to play sports.
Okay.
So, and we'll get into that too, because
Okay.
that's a segue into another story
Right,
that's connected still. But I wanted to play sports, but at the same time, it was a little boring down there, so I was drawing all the time.
Right.
So that's how I got into staying with the art.
Right.
And my parents put me in art school, you know, back home. That was Arts High.
Arts High.
You know, I love it now, and I just definitely don't have any regrets, because like that was like the beginning of who I am today.
Right.
You know, as far as the artist part of me, because I was around so many different teachers that classically trained me in art.
Right.
This was watercolor, paints, oils, gouache, pen and ink, you know, pencil,
Right.
life sketching, you know, what do you call it, still lives, where you're drawing fruit and flowers and things like that.
Right.
My whole thing was watercolor.
Watercolor.
And from watercolor, that's how I got into becoming a master airbrush artist. Because
okay.
from watercolors, you work from light to dark.
Light to dark. Right.
Yeah. So and I picked up an airbrush when I was 14.
Right.
So you're looking at like, you know, I'm a 35 year plus master airbrush artist.
Right.
You know, I can christen myself that, because I do photorealism and airbrush and things like that.
Right.
So from graffiti and practicing from 14 up until, you know, I'm living today, you just get better and better,
Right.
detail wise. So I can do photorealism, and I could go all the way back to where it starts from comics and doing the mechanical wild style graffiti out on the shirt.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So I had, you know,
Right.
moving from that, you know,
Right.
going along.
Right. Now being around art, you know, from the knowledge that I do know, I know there's two type of artists. There's people that have an imagination. They can draw from imagination, and they can draw from images.
Right.
Me personally, I'm not a good drawer of imagination. Like,
Right.
if you say draw a frog, I could draw it, but it probably won't be that great. But if you put a frog in front of me, I can hit it spot on. Where are you at with it?
I'm gonna say both.
You're both. Okay.
Yeah, because I can imagine the anatomy now, because of the years and years of training.
Right.
With like the best art teachers in the world. God rest all their souls, because they're not here.
Right.
They taught me how to think and see different things based on the anatomy.
Right.
So I spent a lot of days, you know, just working on that, working on how to draw an eyeball from scratch, or a nose, or a hand, you know, or the backside of a body and things like that. So just practicing every day, every day, and that's how you just get great.
Right.
You know.
Now, obviously, being able to draw and being artistic help with designing fashion and fabrics and designs. When did you start to realize that, okay, you've seen what's going on in hip hop. So everything, music, fashion, it was always coincided with our
Definitely.
culture. You had to be fly, and you had to have the music. The music had to be dope, and you had to look like the music. When did you realize, that you were a fly guy, so to speak?
Wow, that goes back from looking at my uncles, you know, watching all the fly pimps and everybody dressed. No, I mean, you know,
No, it is what it is.
You know, I come from that element.
Right.
You know, then going down south, you're seeing everybody putting on their Sunday's best.
Right.
You know, nobody wore jeans and sneakers at church. You can now. They've done it now, more
Right.
casual. But back in the day, you know, it was Sunday's best. And then,
Right.
you know, my uncles, they were dressing fly.
Right.
You know, the suits, the hats, you know, the whole thing. They like gangsters.
Right.
You know, so that kind of rubbed off on me, and I wanted to always wear that. You
Right.
know, I always wanted to be in a suit or a tie, something like that. So aside from the breakdancing era and that whole hip hop culture, I had another side of me that wanted to dress in a suit or a tie. You
Right.
know, my dudes used to tease me because I wore brooches.
Right.
You know, with like the letters on them and everything like that. So it was like, you know, they thought it was on some shaky stuff, but it was still like I just wanted to be fly.
Right,
you
right.
know? Just different.
Right. It's funny because, like you spoke to back in the days. Back in the days, gangsters used to dress up.
Every day.
Like it was kind of misleading because they looked so fly, fresh. You never thinking they doing some criminal
That's
intent.
why they call it dress to
That's
kill.
why they call it dress to kill. People don't know. See, I was going there, but you beat me to it. That's why the term dress to kill, because people were literally put on tuxedos to go do hitmen. Like,
Yeah.
because you're not thinking somebody with a tuxedo on, dressed dapper, then is going to do a hit.
Yeah.
You expecting a hood and
Yeah.
You know?
You're expecting that, the thug life.
right.
You know?
And what made me want to dress up back in the days, Soul Train. I would look at Soul Train and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you know, you seen everybody's dancing. They got on suits and the linen and everything. And as a kid, I used to want to
Yeah.
dress like that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So
definitely.
it all came from, you know, the imagery that was, you know, put in front of me or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you at what age did you realize, you know, you want to start designing clothing?
Well, that was during, and I have to bring it back to the culture of hip hop because I was already airbrushing on clothes.
Right.
So then that evolved into me getting airbrush shops.
Was that by? I mean, to cut you off. Was that by accident? Like, or someone asked you, "Hey, can you do this?" Or you just decided, "Oh, I can do. Let me just put this on a T-shirt." Somebody saw it and said,
No,
"Hey, can
you
you
know,
do one for me?"
It wasn't by accident because, like I said, the culture drew me to that.
Drew you to that,
You know, it was
okay.
the graffiti. So we used to draw it in those books and on
Right.
paper. And then all of a
Right.
sudden, we want to put it on the shirt. I want to wear my name
You wanna wear your
outside the
name on
way
the
I
shirt.
did in the mechanical wild style or whatever the colors, because we used to get the design markers. It was markers before I did airbrush.
Right,
I did
right.
it with regular paint markers.
Right. The unis and all that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, the unis and
The
everything
fat-
like that. The
yeah,
fat markers,
fat
yeah.
markers, yeah.
I used
I
to
know
even
what's
draw
up.
on the fat laces. No, you know, and that's a good thing. That's a
Right.
good thing, definitely. So it's definitely the culture that drew me more to evolve into a consummate, you know, all around fashion designer.
Right.
Like I always say, from housing to haute couture. You know, because we lived in housing.
Right.
You know, now it's all the way up into haute couture.
Right.
You know, I'm doing fabrics and I'm creating textile patterns and I'm doing designs and I'm creating, you know, producing, you know, all kinds of different collections through whether through apparel or accessories or footwear.
Right.
You know, so it well rounded me.
It
But
well-rounded you.
it started from the airbrush shops and then painting on jeans. From
Right.
jeans, I wanted to do my own denim.
Right.
And that's how that whole thing started.
And that's how the thing
Yeah,
started.
but Arts High, you know, was the mecca for me that took me to another place in my head globally.
Right.
You know, because we come from the inner city.
Right.
You don't know bullets whistling past your ear at night or whatever it is.
Right,
but
right.
I'm still in that mode.
Right.
You know, with evolving into the designer that I am now.
Right. Now, a lot of us can relate, being minorities. We obviously don't have the same. We're not faced with the same adversities as our counterparts. Willie Esco was speaking about, you know, how being a minority, he wasn't afforded certain opportunities because he was Spanish or whatever. What are some of the struggles you have faced trying to get, I don't know, you know, your product in certain boutiques or stores, or if any at all? What are some of the hardships you have faced, and how did you overcome them? And how do you overcome them?
Wow, you know what? There's many different levels to hardships when you're doing this industry-wise. What I'm doing, there's many different levels of it. I can't even say it's race because I'm already diversified.
Okay.
Because I deal with people all over the world.
Right.
But first starting out, I didn't. So it did seem like a struggle.
Right.
But when you're evolving and you're dealing with different people globally, you start to build relationships and you start to grow as an individual that can relate to all of the different aspects of it.
Right.
But what I would say more so, the struggle would be more of financing.
Financing.
You know, because you only can go so far. But my mind and my talent goes faster than that.
Right.
So that, to me, is more so the struggle than anything else, because at the end of the day, you're going to build relationships.
Right.
Because you're going to meet different people, especially doing what you're doing like this globally.
Right.
And that goes for the culture as well. For hip hop, look at how hip hop is global.
Right.
Hip hop had no problem with touching the different countries.
Right.
Hip hop had no problem with guys breakdancing in France, or it had no problems. And that, to me, was because of Barry Gordy.
Right. Okay.
Motown did something in a time where it was virtually impossible.
Right.
You can't go anywhere in the world, and I've traveled everywhere, globally, and heard a Motown song before I heard anything hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see? So for me, I think the struggles was more of the economic part of it.
Right.
Because you only can go but so far. I started with an airbrush shop, so it was just tees coming in. That's just one dimension.
Right.
You know, I had more ideas in my head that just didn't involve t-shirts. I wanted to develop denim then.
Denim. Okay.
How do I do that?
Right.
You know, so I had to go. Pretty much, I went into interior design.
Okay.
Which led me into dealing with textiles.
Yeah. Right.
So that's where I graduated from. So I'm basically like an interior designer dealing with fabrics.
Now, right now, in terms of your brand, are you focused on bags, clothing, or denim in particular, shoes, footwear? What in terms of your brand? What are you selling, so to speak?
I'm selling the brand. And I'm selling a house.
Okay.
So it's a difference.
Okay.
So before, when I started, I was just doing T-shirts.
Okay.
And just say it was TCA, to Mills Creative Artwear. That's what that was hip hop. That was urban. That was the denim. That was, you know, the logos on the shirts and things like that. That was one category.
Right.
Okay. After that, I got into sports licensing. That's a whole other different situation.
Right.
So I had to bridge that.
Right.
And I brought my talents to the sports licensing side, where everybody from T.O. to Tom Brady wore my jerseys on field, and those gradiated.
Right.
From, you know, through with the airbrush technique that I did.
Right.
You know, so all of that bridged together. So I'm selling pretty much a house. And a house is based on everything of your lifestyle. From the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. If you're going to a party, if you're going to a wedding, if you're going to school, if you're going to work, the house has something for it.
Okay.
Based on all the categories.
Right.
You know, so that's the difference between having a regular brand, which just concentrates on one genre, which would be streetwear, you know, and then a house, like your big brands that you would see, they do everything.
Right.
So for me, I'm more so now at a house stage.
Right.
It's officially called a house. I
Stage.
couldn't do that before because my mentor wouldn't let me call it that because I wasn't at that level then.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what I was alluding to also, because when I speak with Esco, he was saying that most minorities are looked at as just streetwear, where we're much more than that. You know,
Right.
You kind of get typecast into thinking if we have a clothing line, it's just streetwear, and it's not. You know, it has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's everything. Like you say, it's a house. It's for everyone. Now, in my eyes, in my opinion, you work with the NFL, correct?
Yes.
That's a dream job in itself, being that you're obviously a football fan and you wanted to play football. And you can't be modest with this. You got to brag about this, please. But anyway, how did you get the call to produce gear for the NFL? And exactly, was it a specific team or a specific era where people would know, like what jersey, what shirt was it? Like, how did that happen for you?
Okay, so when I left streetwear, the urban or whatever you want to call it, I went into a whole different thing called sports licensing.
Okay.
And the reason why I did that, because I had the talent, but I wanted to learn the business of fashion.
Right.
So I had to separate myself from the talented person that I am, that could really get it in, like for real. And then the business side, which I didn't know much about, or didn't have the access to it. Because you can learn something. You can not know about something until you get involved in it and learn it.
Right.
So I went into Fashion Avenue, the industry.
Right.
And I started freelancing. So I was around doing a lot of different work for a lot of different companies that produced sports licensing, the logo athletics of the world. So I got involved with that whole industry and worked for a lot of different companies that had the licenses for NFL. But working directly with NFL was from a company that I worked at, and I was doing a lot of things for Puma at the time. Puma had 13 teams on field, and I did some work, and the work caught on, and I was out on the West Coast, because that's where the headquarters were, and they started seeing everything, and they was like, wow, who is this kid doing, this work? Like, who is this? So that's how it got back to me, and I met the guys up at Logo Athletic, and then from Logo Athletic, they got bought out by Reebok. Okay, so that's how that whole relationship started. And that's how I got in with NFL. They called me and said, hey, we got an idea. We want to design some Pro Bowl jerseys.
Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Pro Bowl.
It was Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
And that's how.
Answers my question.
Yeah. That's how all of the teams, I did every team. So it wasn't just, it was the best players.
What year was the Pro Bowl?
This was 2001, 2002.
Okay.
And it was they were used twice.
Wow.
Because Nike didn't want to put the logo on the jersey that I did.
Wow.
Reebok had bought the deal then because it was Nike on field. I remember it well because I was in the Tom Landry room up at
Tom
NFL.
Landry. Wow.
Yeah, in the meeting. And I'll never forget this. It was the two women there. I loved them to death, Tracy and Ember. They backed my play, and they were on the phone with Nike and saying, hey, look, dude, dope, we going with what he has. And that's how that happened.
Wow.
And they used it twice because Reebok bought the contract, and then they put the Reebok logo. That's how I got a two-time.
Two-time.
Back-to-back.
Look at that. You got? Did you get,
everybody from T.O. to Tom Brady.
Hey, did you give you a ring to go with that?
I wish. I wish. I got a chance to bring my pops to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
That's close enough.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good enough.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Most people won't even, they can only look at Super Bowl on TV. They'll never go there. So to be a part of it and see people wearing your jerseys in the Pro Bowl, that's a hell of an accomplishment.
Especially the GOATs.
Right. But the crazy thing about that is you didn't stop there.
No, I did not.
So there's this guy, this ball player called The Answer.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. AI, Allen Iverson, everyone knows his classic sneaker, the Reebok sneaker. Now, explain your collaboration with Allen and Reebok and just in general, the whole brand behind that. Like,
well,
what was your involvement? What did you do exactly?
My relationship up at Reebok was really well. I knew everybody there. Okay. I liked them. They loved me. Everything was good. I was doing, freelance work. And I got a call, from upstairs, and they say, hey, we doing a Reebok contract and for Allen Iverson, and they're doing the I3 collection, and we wanted some of your talents for the apparel line. So I was like, okay, let's rock. I like AI doing what he's doing.
Yeah, who don't like AI? Right?
They flew me up to Boston, and we did a deal. And next thing, I started doing the apparel for Allen Iverson I3.
Right.
Definitely.
Did you get a chance to meet with him, or did you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I got a chance to meet with AI. Definitely.
Right.
I would want to, I wanted to actually do more with AI than what we were doing.
Right.
But, seeds are planted.
Yeah, the seed was definitely planted.
Yeah.
Right, definitely. Now, what involvement did he have in terms of what you guys were doing? Was it collaborative, or did he say, hey, I like this, I don't like this? Well,
actually, I just dealt with corporate.
Corporate, okay.
I dealt with corporate. I did my designs back at my home base. Mm-hmm. I flew to them twice a month.
Right.
Laid everything out. Did some production with them. Right. Because I did all the tech packs. Those are like the blueprints to all the apparel for the I3 collection. Right. Did some logo tees and things like that. Brought some hip hop flavor to it.
Of course.
For the graphic tees.
Right.
And that's how that whole thing went down.
Right.
It's a great experience working with Reebok.
Right. Now, are there still a lot of one-of-one pieces out there that didn't get released?
You know what? I gotta look at my mother's.
Good question,
I gotta
right?
go to my mother's house because she has some stuff.
Yeah,
it's in plastic.
You need a ride over there? I'll give you a ride over there.
Yeah, we gonna go over there, man. Because I go over there. I'm like, I don't even have that shirt anymore. Like, how? She got it's fresh.
Yeah, we need to go see what's over there.
Yeah, for sure.
You never know. You know what I mean?
I got a chance to swipe a pair of pants that I wanted out. He had some. I did some zip away, tear away pants for I3.
Okay.
So it zipped
Makes
and
sense.
it also tore.
Tear away when they
right.
Right.
And if you wanted, just in case you didn't want to button it all the way
Right.
up. So it was a zip away, tear away,
Right.
then it zipped off into shorts as well.
You know what? I want to know who invented that. That's a great question, right? Who invented? Because you notice all basketball players, they get dressed to get undressed. To go.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but it don't make sense. Like, why are you getting dressed to stand up to get undressed to go on the court?
You know what? I have no idea.
Where did that come from?
I have no idea, but I wanted to put a zipper in it.
You wanted to put a
Because
zipper in it?
It was too loose the way I wanted, and I wanted to do something different.
Right.
You know, I was all about functionality and then doing something different and bringing some hipness to it.
Right.
You know, definitely. So
right.
I don't know who actually invented that tearaway pant.
Right. So let's chronologically, let's talk accomplishments. Like, I mean, you've been in every major publication: GQ, Vogue, Vanity, Right On, Jet, Source, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just adding that too.
I was in Source magazine.
I know that.
I was in Source magazine
Right.
back in the early '90s.
Right.
When I was doing TCA, that was my first time being in a magazine, and Source was a really big deal. It was a really big deal, especially for
It was the Bible of hip hop.
It was a Bible
Literally.
of hip hop, whether you were in fashion, whatever it was, you know, music wise. But I have to pay homage to that because that got me overseas,
Right.
to Japan.
Mm.
Some cats out of Japan saw the ad, and from there, that's when I did my first major sales was in Japan.
Right.
It wasn't really back at home. I was good at home, but majorly it was Japan.
It was
That broke
Japan.
me. That's what, you know, helped spawn a lot of things like that.
Right. Japan always has what I call a deeper appreciation for hip hop
That's
because they don't see it. Sometimes we take stuff for granted because it's so visible and
Right.
accessible. You don't see superstars from America walking down the street in Japan unless they're
Right.
performing. So when you
Right.
see that, you're going to come out and appreciate and support it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even me DJing, I make way more money DJing in Japan than I
Right.
will here in New York. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because they appreciate it more
Yeah.
because they don't see it and hear it that much.
They definitely love our
You know what I mean?
culture. They
They love the
definitely
culture.
I mean, globally, it's I mean, everywhere I've been
Right.
in the world, they've
Right.
appreciated everything from the inner cities.
Right.
And that's a blessing to even just to feel like that when I'm overseas like that is a real blessing.
Right.
And that's what actually kept feeding me and kept evolving me to get into the house of Amiat. Because of my global travels,
Amiat.
because yes, all modes and all textiles.
Yeah. We was trying to figure out how to pronounce it. I ain't gonna lie.
Amiat.
Yeah, I was like-
Amiat.
I was like, is that French?
You know what? I mean, the magazines that we're in, Vogue,
Right.
GQ, Vanity Fair, these are all overseas. This
Right.
is UK. This is, you know, I got a lot of buzz in Paris, France, and, you know,
Right.
those over that way. So it does roll off the tongue like
Right.
that.
No, I love the name. It sounds very sophisticated and elegant. Like I love it. It's dope.
But you know what? Again, that comes from the culture.
Right.
Because we were able to think fast of
Right.
building.
How did you come up with that?
The Amiat,
Yeah, like
all modes and all textiles.
and you just put it together like that.
You know what? My daughter, Tamia,
Okay.
was actually born, and that's how that name came about.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to do it that way. I wanted to make it more industry
Right.
and call it all moods and all textiles,
Right.
you know. So that's basically how that name came about, and I've been in all moods, in all rooms, in different genres of the
Right.
fashion industry. So that's how that came about, and I wanted to build on that.
Right.
And what helped me build on that was great mentor I had. He's no longer, his name is Glenn Senior.
Okay.
He was a master pattern maker.
Mm.
I was doing the sports licensing at the time in urban apparel, if you want to call it that, streetwear now.
The streetwear
They give
now.
it a more sophisticated
Right.
name, streetwear. And that's because it's global now. But he saw in me a talent that was way, way more broader than what I was doing.
Right.
Now, I thought he was hating on me, to be honest with you. I
Right.
was like, you hating. You know, why can't I do streetwear and you know, sports licensing and things like that? He was like, because you come from art school, you're a classically trained artist.
Right.
You know, you can create dresses, you can create gowns, you can create, you know, different suitings and things like that. And you
Right.
have a textile background from interior design, so why you want to waste your time doing that? He said, because in 10 years, you're never going to know these streetwear brands. And I wish he was alive today because he was right.
Right.
He was definitely right.
Right.
You go back 10 years.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up because this is another interesting point. I always ask anybody that does clothing for us, by us, so to speak. Why do our brands, black, urban, whatever you want to call it, African American, Spanish, whatever, minority brands, don't stand the test of time like a Ralph Lauren or a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton? Or why don't we have traditionally our brands don't stay?
And that's because, again, my mentor, he told me I had to broaden my category skills. So I just told you I had textiles. I'm an artist. I color theory. I can paint. I can create my own colors. Different things like that. I didn't have to stay within streetwear. That's one category. If you stay within one category, of course you're going to have a shelf life. And then you have to understand that customer that was buying that shirt from streetwear has grown up.
Has grown up, right.
9 times out of 10, they're going to grow up and want to put on a suit. They're going to put on some shoes. They're not going to want to wear their hat backwards. No disrespect to that. You know, they're not going to want to wear the big baggy jeans. They're going to want to wear something more sophisticated because they're grown up now. Right.
But the strange thing about that, what you're saying is, it's funny how sneakers don't get caught in that conversation because the kids are wearing the same sneakers we were wearing.
Yeah.
But they're not saying they're playing it out like Jordans. They wearing 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. Those sneakers came out in '84, and they're still wearing them. They're not wearing what we were wearing in '84, but they're wearing the sneakers we were wearing.
Right.
So why are the sneakers surpassed,
because
standing the test of time, but not the fashion?
You're talking about a superstar athlete that broke barriers, that became a celebrity, and did a deal that was like unheard of at the time, and they just kept it in one category. We're going to keep you with the Jordan line, and they started they started building different collections of Jordans. Different colorways, different collections. So that's how I brought it back. I was like, you know what? My mentor was right. I'm going to have to grow up. I'm going to have to expand my horizon and become a house. And that's basically how he got me into developing suitings, developing the textiles, developing the dresses. I wasn't thinking about doing dresses at the time. It was still just streetwear. So when I met him, and he brought me through, those couple of decades. Remember, it took a couple decades to groom me into that. So grooming something like that is going to stand the test of time because now you're into a whole world of fashion, not just one category. And those brands don't last because they stay in one category. And those customers are very fickle-minded. So they're not going to stay with one brand because everything it changes so rapidly, which is why fast fashion came into play.
Got you. Now you brought a couple pieces that I want to have you display and speak on or whatever. Can we talk about that? Get into the pieces you brought?
Sure.
Yeah. And
well, the name of the brand. Just before we show any pieces, Amiat, All Moods and All Textiles is definitely something that was born and raised in the inner city from brick by brick.
Hence, you're from the brick city.
Right, but still, it's brick by brick.
Yeah, I get it.
From the brick city, and I had to evolve that, and it took so many decades to do that. Because it took me at least 15 years just to develop all the textile patterns. So the textile patterns alone, that's 15 years, and I have to make sure every textile pattern was going to be able to work with cottons, work with silks, work with wools, work with intarsia knits, shearing of suedes and things like that, and then all of the aesthetics of the brand. So before you see anything, I just wanted you to know the aesthetics of the brand. You see it has the same continuity. So it's not just apparel. It's not just bags. It's not just shoes. You're talking home decor, because my interior design background. We're going to get into equestrian. We're going to get into automotive. That means like the leathers that we're creating are going to be able to, complement your car seats.
So we can talk about that. With the BBS boy stuff.
Definitely. I mean, I'm even rocking this bag right here.
This is nice.
Yeah, this is called the Caroline Blooming Clutch, because you see here, right in the middle. So you see the Amiat logos. Of course, you
Right.
see it on the lapel. You
Nice
see it on
quality.
it. So you see the Amiat logos here, 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 and here. And in the negative space here creates that flower look, that
Right.
petal that you see
Yeah, I
there.
see it, dope.
So the reason why I call it the blooming bag, because it blooms like a
Blooms like
flower.
flower.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when you open it up, you see it blooming on all and all pockets
Yeah,
are
all
different.
pockets,
Yeah.
right.
Every pocket bag is different. So you can put credit cards in here, cards in here, whatever here, you know.
Right.
All separate. They don't even touch each other.
Right.
So here, even in the leather, you see the geo pattern. So the geo pattern has the same continuity throughout the whole collection. The geo pattern even goes back into the lining. So you see the lining is
Yeah, I love
so satin lining here of the geo pattern. The geo pattern is just one of an array of textile patterns that I have.
Right.
So the pattern that you see on this coat is the houndstooth pattern. So now I'm giving you names
Right.
of traditional textile patterns that actually are in fashion.
In fashion, right.
So you have houndstooth, you have paisleys, you have plaids,
Right.
you have polka dots, but it's all derived from the Amiat logo.
Right.
So that's the artistic background of it.
Right.
Makes it different. So in fact, no other brand in the world has that.
Okay.
You only can get this textile pattern from Amiat.
For Amiat. Right.
So that's what creates a house.
Right.
So when you mention the other brands, the Gucci's, the Louis Vuittons, they have house exclusive to the house patterns.
Right.
The check plaid or whatever they may have,
Right.
the interlocking G's and things like that. So I just wanted to educate the customer that these textile patterns are exclusive to the house,
Right.
from the apparel on through everything that we're doing, even to the shoes.
Right. Now, I'm obviously people are watching.
Yeah.
They see this and they're interested. Where do we go to buy this? How do they get this?
You can go to www.amiatluxury.com. You can go to the site. You can do your research.
Right.
You know, you can see my background, read about my history, my artistic background, and, you know, you'll see all the different textile
Right.
patterns that I name all the different textile patterns on the About page section, but you can go right to the site
Right.
and purchase this, and all of the payment options are on there.
Right.
You
So
know.
you, as of now, you're strictly internet sales only right now. There's no storefront. there's
Strictly
no-
internet storefront is coming.
Okay.
We're working on a deal right now. It's in Montclair, New Jersey.
Okay.
55-year furrier.
Okay.
They have lineage back to Fendi.
Mm.
Met the family, had a great conversation with them. They want to retire. We met. We had a beautiful talk, beautiful family, and we're going to actually, under new management, become the first flagship store called the Amiat Luxury Fashion House and Furrier, because we're going to do the furs as well.
Those are the furs as well.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And we're also going to have a showroom here on 40th Street.
On 40th Street. Well, we
Yeah.
are in the fashion district.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So like basically right around the corner.
around the
40th
corner,
Street. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So you'll meet. I met with the guy Miguel, the owner. We had a great conversation, great synergies. He also has a furrier business there. So we're going to talk about collaborating, doing the accessories and the furs there as well on 40th Street. Definitely.
Right.
Yep.
Now, is this unisex?
This is unisex.
Okay.
So the guys would carry it like this. So you have this the strap in the back,
Oh.
so you can carry it this way. Yeah, you can test drive that.
Right.
You can test drive it.
Let's see here. Okay.
Yeah. Lamar Odom did the same thing, and he flipped out over it.
Okay. It's heavy too.
Well, because I keep a lot of stuff in here.
Keep a lot of money in here. in
Yeah,
other
I keep
words.
a lot of
You know what
stuff
I
in
mean?
here, man. I have a lot of personal items in here,
Right.
and then the chain, you can put it on as a crossbody,
Right.
and you can put the chain right inside the pouch.
Right.
I was carrying bags, so I had the chain out, but I usually carry it with the strap.
Right. Now, is there a such thing as someone wanted something custom, same design, but they wanted, I don't know, polka dots with plaid and a piece of suede going down the middle. I don't know.
The only thing
that?
I would do as a custom order is offer them in a different colorway
A different colorway.
or a different textile pattern.
Okay,
The
gotcha.
bag itself is going to stay within the
Within-
structure of the
Right.
aesthetic.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Now-
So
Yeah. So yeah, as we show more stuff, can you run down a list of artists, the who's who and the who's not, people that that supporting and rocking your brand, so so people can know.
I mean, I've met a lot of different celebrities in my time.
Right.
Me and Ice-T are really close. So Ice
Yeah,
loves.
Ice-T's a BBS boy too, by the way.
You know what? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes, he
Ice
is.
never told me that. We
Yeah.
vibe because
Right.
back in the day I had my TCA on New York Undercover.
Right.
And I worked on his Icewear collection back in the day when he was doing that. So that's how we got connected.
Right.
But
Salute
yeah,
Ice-T.
but Ice always chiming in.
He's very supportive.
Very
too, man.
supportive. He's
Man,
always chiming
like,
in, compliment me on my work and, different things I post or whatever it is if I'm posting at all because I'm always in the lab.
Right.
Definitely I like to stay working.
Right.
But the bags, the footwear right now is prominent, for the site for purchase. Yeah.
Right. Do you have an example of any footwear today, or we just have bags right now?
Right now, let's see the
Let's
bags.
let's see more.
Let me
Yeah,
see
I like
the
this.
weave.
Right.
I have a great story about this bag.
Okay.
And I love this bag. It's a women's purse, but
Obviously.
yeah, the handle you see is
You
the
like
logo.
that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
The handle is the logo.
That's nice.
This is the Amiat Geo weave pattern,
Okay.
and the trend was weave bags.
Right.
So I saw the Bottega Veneta bag that was a classic bag,
Right.
and it was by Bottega Veneta. I said, you know what? I can't just do a plain weave. I had to go and create my own.
Right.
So I was in my lab, and I brought this because I have to educate the customer.
Yeah,
on this
because people don't see how it
no,
transforms into that.
I actually drew this, and I cut this out
you
with
cut
an
this
X-Acto
out.
knife, and I drew the strips as well.
And that's how you.
And that's how I came up with the Geo weave pattern. So you see the logo here is die cut
Right.
through the leather because I couldn't just send a flat sketch
Wow.
to the factory.
Right.
Now, this bag takes approximately 10 to 15 days just to make this bag. Everybody in the world can't make this bag. You can't just give this to a factory or just to a factory and say, make this after me. Every bag from the collection of Amiat, artisan made.
Right.
I taught every one of them for 4 years before we even made sample one. 4 years before we made any sample. The whole aesthetic and the whole vibe and way, the Amiat way we call it.
Right.
At the factories. So that's how this bag, came to life. So see how
I love how when it opens up.
the
it's like
textile
blooming.
pattern.
Right, I love
Yeah,
it.
the textile pattern always complements the outside of the
That's
bag.
right.
So you're always going to see the geo pattern in every bag that we do, unless I change the textile pattern to something else.
Right.
This will change. So if I'm doing the houndstooth pattern in this will be houndstooth pattern.
Right.
So you see all of the way they did it, everything lines up. Everything is so. This is all handcrafted by true artisans,
Okay.
from the back to the front.
Right.
And it also has a chain. So when we first did this, and I want to
that's
educate,
like
I want to educate the customer.
Signature
because-
chain. I like that.
Yes, I want to educate because the chain was a regular chain at first,
Right.
and when it came back, I said, buyers are not going to like that because it's just a chain.
It's just a chain.
So I said, let me create the actual chain out of the logo.
Right.
So nobody else in the world would have this.
Right.
So that's how you define yourself as a house.
Right. I can see that turning into a chain to wear.
Of course, I've done it already.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it in the mirror already.
Hold it up. He said, hold it up so you see it.
Yeah, I've done it already.
Oh, the logo. Yeah. Hold it up. Yeah. I'm already thinking like that. I need a chain like that.
I've done it already. Well, a friend of mine is actually getting a necklace done.
Yeah, like, I can see it. Like,
Yeah, I sent the necklace to her. I sent the drawing to her, and she's actually getting a pendant done
Right.
of the actual logo. So I wanted to show you.
that's
the chain.
dope.
So the chain, all the trims, even the lock set here, and the lock is coming as the shape too.
Dope. Man,
Yeah.
This is dope, man.
Definitely.
This is-
So this is a
Now, what is this called again?
so this is the Nathel bag.
Nathan back. Okay.
And it's in the Amiat Geo weave pattern.
Okay.
Yep. So you can see the back, front, and even you see the bottom.
Nice.
The bottom even has the same continuity.
It's very
of the logo.
detailed. I'm looking at. Like, I'm a attention to detail person, so it's very, very detailed.
Yeah, definitely. Like I, you know, I'm an artist.
I can tell.
So I'm gonna always go into details, and if I don't like something, I'm gonna send it back to the factory, and we're gonna make it over.
And you're gonna make it over.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yep. I want to show you something special,
Okay.
something real b-boy,
Oh.
something dope, but it's still fashion and it's still hot. Let me get the
I don't gotta bust no move,
not
right?
the backpack. Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
gotta. See, you don't have moves like that, did you? You surprised? You're like, oh shit.
Thank you. So this
Ooh.
backpack, oh yeah, this backpack is nice. This
Carry
is
like
called.
5 cans of Krylons in here. You know what I mean?
Hey, definitely, man. You can put your, you know, the
Records?
DJs.
Yeah,
The
this is a
DJs,
record
you
bag.
can put, yeah, it reminds. It kind of reminds you of
man.
that. Yeah, it definitely kind of reminds you. Of
That's
that.
exactly what it looks like. You can put the vinyl and
But check out the pockets and everything
laptop
on
and
it.
all that.
So you still see the
I
beautiful,
love this, man. When like, this is dope.
Yeah. I mean, inside and out,
Right.
this bag is very, very beautiful, inside and out. So even when you see here, the pockets,
Right.
deep pockets,
Bam.
yeah, deep pockets,
Wow.
everything lined up.
Right.
And these are separate pieces, and look how they lined everything up.
Right.
See that? It
Right.
lines right up. Deep pockets here.
And it's nice quality. I smell the leather. It's
Oh, yeah.
rich and thick.
Speaking of this leather, this leather is made really ethically.
Like, right.
So the cows actually die, nothing slaughtered.
Okay.
So a lot of people are into, you know, saving
Yeah,
animals,
pet
saving
animals,
the plant,
pet.
you know, things like that. So these actually, you know, where we make this at in India, they actually let the cows expire. So we have to reserve these skins. So this is still makes it even extra special.
Right.
You know, even when we die.
I really like this, man. Like this could definitely go well with the DJs.
Definitely.
like-
Let me check. So check this out, if I may.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If I may, you would put this on, right?
This definitely goes. Yeah.
Check this out. So when you walk in and you're in the airport or anything like that, and you're just moving around, and you want to just, you know, this thing zips. This zips here.
Oh snap.
This zips here all the way around,
Okay.
right?
Right.
And that just comes off. And you can put this,
Oh snap.
you can put this belt bag around you. You put this here in the overhead,
Right.
and you have all your
Your
personals here.
personals here.
Definitely.
Man,
You're moving.
this is dope.
Yeah, this is here. This
Right.
is like the
Now,
showpiece, bro.
Right now, so what's the price point on something like this? Because I'm telling you, a lot of DJs are gonna want this.
Price
I'm
point.
doing a commercial for you right now, by the way.
Oh.
But anyway,
This price point is $3,200 for this bag.
3,200. Wow,
Yes,
this is
definitely.
dope.
Yep.
This is dope.
I mean, all the quality leather now. When they're ordering this,
This is
just
dope.
just so you know, we're a concierge service. So that means when you get this bag, you're getting full-fledged concierge service. Anything that happens to this bag, we replace it, we upgrade it. You will get every customer gets an upgrade to their bag.
Right.
So that comes with the service. So
Right.
repairs, cleaning, you know, upgrade to the bag, and we do that for the life of the bag.
Right.
And that's a house. You know, a house is going to take care of you. A
Right.
brand or you know, fast fashion, it's just one and done.
Right.
Just is too much quality not to help you take care of the bag.
Right. So I want to say something. And he's not paying me to say this, or I'm saying this because I truly think like this and I believe like this. We gotta support quality product like this, because I'll see guys they'll spend more than this on Louis Vuitton and Gucci, but they won't do it for people that look like them. We got to break that cycle and train of thought. I'm telling you, this is nice quality. And if you're looking for a bag, especially my DJ dudes and how we travel, this is definitely the bag for you. Like just looking at it.
Definitely.
And again, I'm just doing this because that's how I feel. You know what I mean?
You know what, Thoro? I appreciate what you're
Right.
saying. You know what I want to add on to that? Customers are going to buy what they want to buy.
It's true.
I'm never
Right.
the type of person to say, don't buy this brand or don't buy
Right.
that brand.
Yeah, I'm
don't
not
buy-
saying don't buy another brand. I'm saying support
Yo, I understand
additional quality products.
because that's all I used to rock on my feet was Gucci.
Right.
So
Me
I'm not
too,
gonna-
but
I know his
right.
story,
Right.
Gucci or Gucci. I know, you
Right.
know, making his bags in his horse
Right.
stable, the Seven Sons, the whole nine.
Right.
Even when Tom Ford came and took over when it was in shambles, I know every story. I know how far back these houses go.
Hundreds
What
of
I'm
years.
saying is, respect the brand.
Respect the brand, right?
And because this bag can sit on the same floor as those bags.
No,
So you know you can buy those too, but you might want an Amiat in your closet as well.
This is nice, man. This is definitely, and I love the color. This is dope.
Oh yeah, we have this in black.
Black. I was gonna say black. Obviously, the most people.
I brought colors because we of color.
Right.
And
color.
you know we're on a colorful show.
Right.
And this is I'm an artist.
Right.
So I just wanted black is already going to be in the repertoire. It's already going to be there.
Right.
So I just wanted to bring and show color because I'm going to be changing colors all the time.
Right.
Because I'm never the one to just stick with one thing.
Right.
Black is always going to be there.
So with that being said, do you feel like you need for advertising purposes, you need a certain figure to help you push this to get people to buy it, or you just put it out there and if you like it, cool. If not, it's not for you. Like, what's your sales approach when or it's expectations? Because I have a thing called managing your expectations.
My expectation is do your research.
Okay.
Go to the site, read up on me. I have an extensive background. My background goes up 3 decades. Mm-hmm. So I do this for real.
Right.
I'm not a celebrity nothing wrong with that. I'm not a celebrity trying to do a collection and, something just to pass the time away, anything like that. This is my love. This is my passion.
Right.
So that's why I do this, and I want people to do the research. Now, a woman followed me for 2 years before she even purchased a wallet, just because a lot of people don't know. You have so many things on the internet. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's fake, anything. But one thing about Amiat, you only can get it from the house of Amiat.
Right.
There is no other place that you can get this from or anything like that. So you can actually come, and guess what? If it's not who we say we are, the internet is crazy. You can be ruined in a day. So we stand behind this product for sure.
Right. Out of all your pieces, do you have a favorite piece? Because I think every designer has their favorite, your personal favorite.
My personal favorite would be the tote bag.
The tote bag. Okay.
Because totes are like really in.
Right.
And although totes are referred to as a women's bag,
right.
I like this bag because of the quiet luxury that it has.
Right.
The aesthetic that it has.
Right.
This bag here, the Andrea tote, is super, super sexy.
Right.
The reason why it's my favorite bag because it was so hard for the factory to make, because the actual handle had to be inset into the leather, and it had to be double reinforced to really act as a handle.
Right.
And today they're going for the quiet luxury, no logos. It doesn't say Amiat. Right. You have to know that it's Amiat
from the pattern.
Right.
That's the logo. The pattern.
And this is why I would love the customer to do their research and study and watch the growth of the house. And that's how you get a loyal fan.
Right.
They're always there. They're always going because they're going to see something from the aesthetic and how it flows.
Right.
So this bag here is definitely nice. Even inside, you see all the patterns inside.
Right.
It's just the stuffing here, but pockets inside, leather. The pockets, the inside pockets are trimmed in leather, self leather here.
Right.
And this is a carry-all tote, and these totes are very, very nice.
Right. This just reminds me when I was a kid. I don't know if I'm the only one that did this, but when I was a kid, I used to want to smell everything new. Like you get a new pair of sneakers, man. I would just smell a little, and this bag just makes me because you smell the fresh leather, like I do with my sneakers to this day. It's dope.
And this bag has actually been outside a lot, and it's still smelling new.
No, it's dope. It's dope.
It's actually been outside a lot.
Right.
Let's go into travel.
Travel. Okay.
Yeah, let's go into travel.
That's Big Red, huh?
That's Big Red.
I just made that up.
That's Big Red.
Big Red.
This is the oversized weekend travel bag.
Wow.
And this bag is really, really nice.
You like this?
This bag is really cool. You have your pockets on the side here.
Yo, this is nice.
Just drop your cell phone in on the go when you're at the airport.
Right.
A removable strap here. Mm-hmm. You also, of course, we have the Amiat logo flap.
Nice. I love. It's just something about when you
the textile pattern.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just something about the pattern.
If I was to leave this as self leather, it's boring.
Right.
You getting something like this, and at the quality that it's at.
Right.
If you want to look at it and just love it from the inside.
Right.
You don't want to just have a bag and just you see it on the outside and then it's flat on the inside.
That interior is dope.
Yeah, and the interior goes all the way inside.
That is dope.
all the way inside. And I've put 2 or 3 weeks of clothes in here already.
I can see.
So shoes,
you can put everything
you can roll
in
your
there.
jeans here, and this is a weekend bag. It's
Right.
a travel bag.
You know how to pack. He said roll your jeans. That's how
yeah,
you pack.
roll them up.
You roll them up.
You know.
That's
Of course,
good.
you have your feet at the bottom. The
Right.
Amiat logo.
Nice.
All the way around.
Yeah,
The
it's
aesthetic
nice.
of it. The pillow stitch. This is called pillow stitch.
Right.
So it's puffed.
Right.
Like you would see in a puffer coat.
Puffer coat.
Yeah,
Right.
so we just pillow stitch it.
Nice. Okay.
Definitely.
You know what I want you to do? I don't know if you did it. If you had hats with the pattern, do you have that?
I don't have one here,
Right, but I think
but there is
I would
one.
definitely rock the hell out of those.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
There is
you know
one.
what I mean?
I don't have one here, but there is one.
Right.
Let's keep
Let's keep
going
it
with
going.
travel.
Let's go travel. Let's travel.
Let's
Where we
travel.
going to now? Let's go.
Oh man, you
We're in
go
Rio de Janeiro
you
right
could
now.
go, you can go anywhere with this one. This one here is called the 3-in-1 travel duffel.
Travel duffel.
You see it all in the Amiat,
Mm-hmm.
you know, sky blue,
Right.
and it's all pillow stitched out. Of course, you're going to see your favorite.
This is immediately
material.
like embedded in my brain now. This is definitely classic, man. Like
but
instant.
Look how the artisans reinforced it around.
Right.
So you see a banding around
Yeah.
it. It's reinforced
That
really
makes
nice.
sense.
That's
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah.
That's quality here. You zip this open.
So,
That's for you.
wow. I feel special now.
Now
I'll rock
because
this.
you love the pattern so
I'm
much.
gonna rock this with respect.
You love the pattern
Woo!
so much.
Wow.
If you want a different size, what's your size?
I'm a large.
You a large?
Yep.
There you go.
My God.
Now
Ah.
that one
Ha.
reflects.
Woo.
So you're a car dude.
Oh,
so
man.
You gonna,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
So,
when you at the show, the BBS show.
Oh yeah, I'll be in the 560 with
That
this.
is, well,
rocking
when
this.
they hit the lights with that, they're gonna.
I
like,
promise
oh.
you'll see me on stage /TV rocking it, supporting, practicing what I preach.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
what's up. That's what's up.
Practicing what I preach. This is dope.
Definitely.
Yo, this is dope. Thank you, brother.
No problem.
No,
man.
seriously, this is good quality.
This is the geo pattern. So you know the Amiat geo
I
pattern.
love this pattern. Like I'm telling you, I need a hat.
Okay.
This is nice, right?
Hat's coming.
I need the pattern. This
coming.
pattern right here. This is dope.
Hat is coming.
This is dope. Thank you.
No problem, man. No problem. Hey, thank you for having me
Yo,
on This Is 50, bro.
Yo, listen,
It's part
thank you
of the
for
culture.
thank you for coming through, blessing me, making me fly than what I was before you got here.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Let's
Definitely.
check this out. So this 3-in-1 duffel bag is exactly what it is. It's a mid duffel,
Okay.
a removable belt bag. So you can remove
Yo,
that.
this shit is like Inspector Gadget in here. You know?
Yeah, you can remove this. Well, this inspiration came from one of my great uncles. I was down south and I saw some of his backpacks. They were in World War II.
Right.
They had like all
All
these
these-
different gadgets and things on the back. I was like, that's the inspiration came from.
Right.
That. So you have your belt bag here,
Yeah, you getting like more for one. Like you're
Yeah.
getting a lot here. You know what I mean?
and then check this out.
Oh man, don't tell me this come up too. Wow. The whole bag come apart.
Yeah, so this actually comes and zips apart.
Don't tell me that's a pillow. That's crazy.
It can be if you want.
It can be right.
It can be if you stuff it enough.
If you stuff, yeah, that's
yeah, it
dope.
can be if you stuff it enough. That's the interior of it, you know.
Yo, this is nice.
So check this out. This comes off, right? And you
That's
got
another bag.
a mini backpack
Money.
with the Amiat
Come
logo
on,
handle
man.
and leather.
Come on, man.
And you could go on your daytime excursion while you have your stuff in the hotel and put it up on the closet and you off to the races.
You're buying one bag, but you're getting three.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why you call it the 3-in-1.
And the 3-in-1. And the upgrade is coming.
Right.
So your concierge service with the bag.
Wow. And these is wow.
Yeah, these are all the
Yeah,
belt
the
loops.
belt loops.
All custom.
Right.
The Amiat logo.
Right.
And this is really fly, man.
Dope. 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 All right. Well,
It's
yeah.
detail all around this bag. This is
Right.
3D detail.
Right.
3D detail.
This is dope. I
So-
love it.
What I like about the house of Amiat is the reactions that I get globally.
Right.
So the lady from Vogue magazine said, "Hey, I don't know you, you know." She said, "But this handle is going to take you a long way." She loved it. She loved the handle.
That's dope, man.
You know, I want to try to make something like a man bag.
You know what? This bag, your products have an identity. They don't look like everybody else's, mimicry stuff.
Right.
And that's coming out. This is you have an identity with this, and that's very hard to do.
I got to give it to my mentor because he pushed me. He said, "Why? So what? You got your name on a sweatshirt."
Right.
And nothing wrong with that because we still have to have our comfy things that we like and we want to support our brands and we want to say, hey, this is who I am and everything like that.
Right.
But sometimes he says you want to talk to people with your textiles. You see that? You know?
He's flossing now.
You have the paisley pattern that I'm mixing in with the
This is
houndstooth
flawed,
pattern.
man.
Ah, man,
What is that, velvet?
No, it's boucle.
You say what?
It's boucle. Definitely.
Oh, you ever saw a movie called Willie Dynamite?
Yeah.
That's you, man. You Willie Dynamite, man.
Hey, man, I think this is Dynamite House. We're Dynamite House.
This is Willie Dynamite collection right here.
Willie
Yo, you hit it
Dynamite
right on the
House.
head, yo.
Definitely.
This is the modern day Willie Dynamite. Willie! Willie!
That was that Pit movie.
The Pit movie, right?
Yeah.
Yo, he was rocking some fly shit.
He was.
Not for nothing.
And the soundtrack was
Yeah,
crazy.
the soundtrack is crazy.
Yeah.
J.J. Johnson did the soundtrack.
There you go. So you the music
Come
dude.
on,
See,
man,
I didn't,
music.
but I love the soundtrack. It was
I'm
crazy.
hip hop. Remember, I got one day.
Yeah, definitely.
We hip hop
Definitely.
dudes. So listen, man. Before we get out of here, man, like, is there anything else you want to chop it up about or cover, or speak on before we go?
I would just like to say, as far as the house, look for an involvement of a lot of different things to come. This bag is going to evolve. The fabrics are going to evolve. The whole house is going to evolve. You're going to see housewares. You're going to see equestrian. That's the horseback riding. You're going to see the saddles.
Shower curtains.
You're going to see home decor, and you're going to see it. You're going to see it also. Keep watching, keep learning. Supporting. You're going to see so many different things, and it's going to start with the support of the people at large.
Right, that's why we're here. You got to support. You got my support. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
it. You definitely got my support. And if anybody's interested, how can they follow you or get in contact with you? Once again.
Yeah, you want to go to the website. The website is www.amiatluxury.com. That's AMIAT luxury.com. The Instagram.
Yes,
is Amiat Luxury at Amiat Luxury. And if you want to follow me personally, I'm at Tamil International.
Right.
I had to tag that international name because I started flying all over the place.
Hey, you international T.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
That used to be my name when I go overseas. International T.
Well, I lived in China for a while.
Nice. Where, Beijing?
Not Beijing. I traveled to Beijing, but my favorite place was Shenzhen and Shanghai.
Shanghai. I've been in Shanghai too.
And then I stayed a little bit in Hong Kong because I consider them family.
Right.
They raised me into the business of production over there. They taught me a lot.
Before we go, where do you get the most support from in terms of sales right now? What would you say if you had to pinpoint a place on the earth? Where is that coming from?
I would say Europe.
Europe. Makes sense. Makes sense.
And only because, look, British Vogue, British GQ.
See, that was the alley-oop. I knew he was going to do that. See, that's
Vanity
wrong.
Fair. This is all.
Come on, man. This is major leagues right here.
They reached out to me and was like, wow. Your brand, we want our readers to see what you have.
Right.
So when your readers see, and I get, and I see all the pings that come in, France, Paris, London, Holland, different places, different places around the world, just come in and they see fashion, they see the vision.
I see it, brother. Listen, I see it. All right, your new name is Willie Dynamite, man. All right, that's it.
Hey, man, I accept that. I'm guilty as charged.
All right, so that's what it is, man. I go by the name of DJ Thoro. Let them know the name again.
Tamil Robinson, Tamil International is Amiat, all moods and all textiles. We are a true fashion house. That means a collection of every category known into fashion, every category. So it's AmiatLuxury.com, and we're the Amiat Luxury Fashion House.
Exactly, and like always, when you see us, one knee us. That means get on one knee, kiss the ring, and pay respects.
10 men, 20 men, 30 men. I'm on something. 10 men, 20 men, 30 men. That do what's up. 10 men, 20 men, 30 men.